In an era of digital money, the world's wealthy are turning back to the most ancient form of financial security. We're about to go step inside the reserve, Singapore's $64 billion answer to global economic chaos. Hi, Gregor. How are you?
Hello. Very good. Thank you for coming.
This is a beautiful space. I feel like I'm in an art gallery more than a vault. It's insane.
Thank you. Function is important, but form is also important.
Very true.
We try to have both.
Absolutely remarkable. I'm looking around. We are surrounded by bars. How much do you actually have in here, if we were to put it in monetary terms?
So currently we're storing around 600 tons of silver. We can store up to 10,000 tons. 10,000 tons is around 27 billion US dollars in value. And it might also be interesting to know that we are now storing more at the Shanghai Gold Exchange because inventories have been falling worldwide. We are around 600 tons. In February, Shanghai Gold Exchange was around 350 tons, so it's quite something.
The reserve in Singapore saw a 350% increase in storage orders over the last 12 months. 90% of these were from foreigners.
Gregor, let's start off by understanding a little bit more about you. Who are you and how did you get to building such a beautiful space?
Well, I was a senior data architect for Commerzbank, a German bank, and I saw the after effect of Lehman Brothers going bankrupt in 2008, and people rushed out and bought physical gold and silver, and I scratched my head and said, well, what are these people doing? I found out more, and by the time I wanted to buy some, there wasn't anything left, and that's when I realized we are going to have a bigger crisis coming. Owning some physical gold and silver might not be a bad idea, because physical gold and silver is something that does not have counterparty risk if you own it outright. That was also the lesson I took away, and that set me on this journey for 17 years to essentially build what we've become today.
And when we talk about storing of the assets, then we're seeing so many people coming to you at this point in time. Help us understand about why this is happening in the volumes that it's happening at the moment.
It's very much driven by the fact that if you own physical gold and silver as legal title ownership of these assets, you essentially don't have counterparty risk. You can limit your jurisdictional risk to the jurisdiction where it's being stored at. So you're not dependent on, let's say, the US dollar or the euro continuing to be a credible currency. So it's a good way to park your money until you find something better with it. Wait out the storm and these uncertainties that we have, and most likely do very well because these metals tend to do well during times of uncertainty. And so it's kind of obvious, really. It's just that a lot of people haven't thought or haven't looked at the context of this yet in this way.
The price of gold has surged to record highs, and there are three big drivers. Debt. As the global bond market devalues, the world's capital is fleeing the US dollar. Fear. In an era of weaponized finance, the elite are trading digital promises for physical assets. And sovereignty. This record-breaking rally is the sound of a financial system being redrawn in solid gold.
This is quite remarkable. Tell me about the weight of this. I'm assuming, because it's written here, 12.5 kilos, 400 ounces there or thereabouts, yeah?
Yes. So this is about 400 troy ounces of gold. And it has a value right now of around 2 million US dollars. Now, gold is very dense. It's about 19.3 times as dense as water. And that means it's really quite heavy. If you try to lift it, get an idea.
I'm okay to touch it? Okay, cool.
Yes. If you see a movie of people running around with a suitcase full of gold? It's chocolate gold.
It's not real.
It's not real.
Oh, geez. Oh, this is actually really heavy. What's your vision for the reserve? You had the safe house, then version 2 was the reserve. What's next?
Well, we're working towards 2.5, basically.
Okay.
We are going to quintuple the amount of gold that we can store. So we're building 22 more of these kind of vaults. You might say it's a little bit too optimistic, but We are also opinions that now that we are not in a crisis yet, it's a time to build it, because once we are in a crisis, we believe there will be high demand for these things, and you cannot build a vault overnight.